Hi there, my name's Kerry and welcome to Ballina. In fact, welcome to the Ballina Byron Gateway Airport. Now today my destination is from the airport here up to Brunswick Heads. When you arrive at the airport, here's the views you're going to be greeted by. Of course, if you just look over here, there's all ride share, airport transport, port buses over there, and also just here is the taxi stand. Now what I'm going to do today, instead of catching an airport shuttle or a taxi up to Brunswick Heads, I'm just going to catch a local bus up there. Now to get there, got to walk through the parking lot to the bus stop on the other side of the parking lot. It's not far, just a minute walk. Anyway, let's go, and while we're walking over there, I'll tell you a bit more. Okay, straight ahead you'll see two little bus shelters. Now the usual way people get from Ballina Airport up to Brunswick Heads is to catch a airport transfer or a taxi. Now I checked out the prices of these. Taxi and Uber start from about $77. I tried to have a look to see how much the airport shuttle services cost. You had to ask for a quote. Now I did see one when I was searching through Google, and they were offering a price of $120 return from Ballina Airport up to Brunswick. So that's $60 each way. Well, that's not too bad. Today I'm going to catch the bus. Now if you're paying a regular fare, the bus is going to cost you less than $10. Now I'm travelling on a seniors card, so the fare's only kind of cost me $2.50 to get up there. Now the bus I'm going to catch is run by a company called CDC, and the route is from Ballina Airport here up to Mullumbimby, and it's route 640. That's the bus that comes into Ballina Airport. Route 640 CDC. Anyway, once I get to Mullumbimby, I have to change for another bus which is going to take me for the extra 10-15 minute ride through to Brunswick Heads. Now on the bus they accept Visa, Mastercard, American Express, and they also accept GPay and Apple Pay, so you can use your phone. You can even use your smart watch to pay. Oh yeah, nearly forgot. They also accept cash, but they don't accept Opal cards. Anyway, as you can see from behind me, there's quite a few people waiting for the bus, and they've all got their luggage with them and ready to get on. So if you're bringing a suitcase, don't worry about it. The bus can handle it. First stop is Lennox Head, and then the next stop is Byron Bay, and then of course it goes through to Mullumbimby. So I imagine most of these people are probably getting off around Byron Bay. Now these people here at the bus stop waiting have all come off the Jetstar service, which left Sydney at 7:20 this morning. Okay, here comes the bus now. The 640 to Mullumbimby. Now I usually try to get the front seat so I can sit up the front and film the whole trip, but I don't think that's going to happen today. G'day mate, yeah, I'm just going up to Brunswick Heads. Well, first stop Lennox Heads, and then Suffolk Park, and then through to Byron Bay, and from Byron Bay through to Mullumbimby. Now if you're just coming to Ballina, you can also use this bus service to take you from Ballina Airport into the town of Ballina. Now, the bus goes into Tamar Street in Ballina, which is at the shop, just behind the shopping centre in Ballina. This is the Tamar Street bus stop in Ballina. Now the main shopping centre in Ballina. Walk through there and walk through the arcade and you're on River Street, Ballina. Well, welcome to the Byron Bay bus station. There's the old railway station over there. Well, the bus pretty much empties out here at Byron Bay. Mullumbimby, here we come. There's no lack of traffic in Byron Bay during the holiday season. There's always lots of talk about rebuilding the old railway line from Casino through to Mullumbimby and extending it through to the Gold Coast and Brisbane. But I don't think that's going to do a lot of good. The motor car rules supreme around this area. Mullumbimby. Now that bus ahead looks like our bus which is heading to Brunswick Heads. Right. Thanks, mate. That's the bus we want, Ocean Shores 645. Now this bus, the 645, waits for the bus we got off. That's just the 640 from Ballina Airport to here. Even though you got to change, it's still a continual service.
I have a question. Are you going to Byron Bay? Yeah? Oh, too bad. Sorry. Thank you.
Well, here we are. Welcome to Brunswick Heads. Thanks, mate. No worries. Now that's certainly a cool looking building. Now I might stop for a cup of coffee. I've had nothing for breakfast. And now this cafe behind me looks pretty cool. It's got cool looking people hanging out the front of it, so I might duck in there for a cappuccino. Our bus left Ballina at 3 minutes past 9 and it's now 4 minutes past 11. So the trip's taken 2 hours. That's not too bad. Now it's hard to say how long an airport transfer would take. I suppose it depends on how many people are in the van. Now I suppose if there's 4 people, there'd be a lot of diversions you'd have to make. So I think catching the bus would probably take about the same amount of time as an airport transfer service. It's certainly a lot cheaper. Now this cup of coffee costs me, it's a large cappuccino, and it cost me $6.30. Now, how long before a large cappuccino costs $7? I think it'll be about the end of this year, so that's the end of 2026. It'll be $7 for a large cappuccino. Anyway, cheers. Okay, here's the local pub. Certainly is a grand structure. We just had a cup of coffee, so we'll leave it. We'll drop back in there later on for a beer. Right now we might go down and have a look at the river, and we'll duck down the beach and have a look.
White plastic on it. So yeah, just
Well, that certainly is a nice little beach down there. No wonder it's so popular. I'll have a quick look up here at the main beach. Well, there's the entrance to the Brunswick River. Well, there's the main beach. The small beach, just over here, seems to be a lot more popular. Probably because it's a bit too windy and it's a bit too rough today. That water is beautiful and clear. Parking meters, they're everywhere, even at the beach. Now it's 11:45, it's not lunchtime yet, and that cup of coffee sort of filled me up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a walk up the river a little bit and have a look at the boat harbour. Hi. Say hi. Hi. You'll be on YouTube. Now I'm not totally sure where I'm going. This is the blind leading the blind. There's certainly a nice old house over there. Just looks like a guest house out of the 1950s or the 1960s. Perfect caravan park. If you've got a boat tied up out front. Here's the little boat harbour I was looking for. Well, things have certainly changed here. I remember back in the 1970s, even in the 1980s, this boat harbour was full of fishing trawlers. Used to go out fishing for prawns. Anyway, there's not one left. They're all pleasure boats. That looks like a nice little weekender. That looks like an old prawn trawler converted into a weekender. Aha! That's what I remember. This harbour used to be full of little vessels just like that. Prawn trawlers. Looks like that isn't even a prawn trawler anymore. Looks like it's out of action. From what I can remember, that was the Fisherman's Cooperative. And they used to sell fish and chips and fish in the front there. Well, everything changes. Well, that was a great walk. And here we are back in town again. And I'm not only hungry, but I'm thirsty. Well, it looks like a good place. Well, that looks like a good place to solve my thirst and hunger problems. Well, it's certainly big enough. Oh, it gets even bigger out the back. They certainly have got a good location here. No lack of beer. Could I have a schooner of Travia beer?
Yeah, of course.
And also I'll have a olive oil poached tuna, thanks.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that one is $40.30, please.
$40.30.
Are we paying cash or card?
Oh, card, thanks. Cash. I remember my grandmother used to use that when she used to go shopping. Great, thanks very much. After that walk, I am dying of thirst. Anyway, cheers. Not as good as the Reese's. There's tuna and a salad. Perfect. Now, I've seen some great cake shops and bakeries in the time, but just check this one out. This is absolutely fantastic. Let's go in and have a look. Don't know what to have. There's a spare table there. I might grab that. Oh, look at that. That is delicious. It's probably very fattening too. But hey, I've done a lot of walking today, and I had a salad for lunch at the pub, so I should be all right. Well, that's one of the coolest looking libraries I've ever seen. Well, if you can't find something to do and something to eat and something to drink in Brunswick Heads, well, you're not looking hard enough. Hey, it's a really nice place and it's well worth a visit. Well, it's time to say goodbye to beautiful Brunswick Heads, and today I'm booked on the 4:24 p.m. New South Wales Trainlink service, which is going to take me to Casino. Now it's a coach service to Casino. Then at Casino I'm going to change for a XBT, which is going to take me down to Mullumbimby Heads where I live. Now I'll get to Mullumbimby Heads about 11 p.m. tonight. Now, if you're leaving here and you want to go to Sydney, I wouldn't really suggest that you catch this train. I really suggest if you've got a sleeper, of course, catch it. But if you catch this bus that I'm catching, you're going to get to Casino, then you're going to get on the train, you'll have to sit up all night and you'll get to Sydney the next morning. That's not much fun. Now, if you've got a sleeper, well, go for it. You'll have a really good night's sleep on the way down to Sydney and you'll wake up all refreshed. But if you want to see a bit of coastline, there's a New South Wales Trainlink coach that leaves 5:24 in the morning and it connects with an XBT to Sydney at Casino, and there's another one leaves at 6:28 in the morning, and that connects with a XBT at Casino, and the XBT will take you down to Sydney. Now I've left a link to the New South Wales Trainlink timetables in the description. There's also links to the local bus service timetables, including the bus I came to Brunswick Heads in this morning. Comes now. No bags.
Where you going, mate?
Good, thanks.
Where you going to?
Going to Casino and Mullumbimby Heads. Kerry.
Kerry Whitfield.
Yes, just one person.
Wonderful. You got no other luggage?
No, that's it. I'll just one one. Thanks very much.
Very good.
Nice and cool in here.
Another person here, but obviously not. There we go, folks. Casino station.
Thanks, mate.
Train's a little bit late, apparently.
Well, welcome to Casino Station. The train I'm planning to catch is the XBT that left Sydney at 7:15 this morning, and it comes up here to Casino and it turns around and goes back to Sydney again. But it left Sydney at 7:15 and something's happened and it's about an hour's late, so it's just left Grafton, so it's got to come up here and they've got to clean it and turn all the seats around and get it all organised and everything. So it looks like it's going to be about an hour and a half before we leave here. Oh well, that's travelling public transport. The other thing is that Casino Station is sort of, well, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's in the suburbs of Casino, and it's about 2k from town. So it's not the sort of place you can just walk across the road and there's a pub or a cafe and have something to eat or something like that. No, it's not like that. The closest shop is about nearly a kilometre away, and I doubt if it'd even be open anyway. So there's not much here. There's a waiting room, and that's about it. It's about the best drink you're going to get. Waiting room, air conditioning. But what they do have here is somewhere to charge your phone. They do have drinks and chips and chocolates and everything. And of course the ticket office. Now the seats aren't exactly The seats aren't exactly the softest. Well, the train's come in, they've cleaned it, and it looks like we're ready to roll.
Good evening, customers. This is the Casino to Sydney XPT service, and we are due for immediate departure.
Ah, here we are. Ah, we're finally moving. Anyway, we'll see you at Mullumbimby Heads. Yes, Ed, thanks very much.
Nice good trip for you.
Great, thanks very much. Have a good night. Oh, welcome to Mullumbimby Heads. So that was a good trip. They switched the lights out at about 11, about half an hour before we got here to Mullumbimby. Anyway, thanks for joining us for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.